Welcome to Networking with Nathaniel, a real estate and entrepreneurial and all the fun things podcast where I get to talk to amazing individuals who are doing amazing things, typically in the real estate space, but beyond as well. We've talked to some mindset coaches and some funding people on this podcast so far. We're expanding the horizon, so stay tuned. If you are a returning guest here, please, you know the drill, like the video so we can reach more people. If this is your first time here, hang out for a little bit, see if it's something that you even like first, and then please hit that like button so we can reach more people. If you are a new person and you are enjoying it, subscribe so you can get notified when we have new videos go live. Typically, we're here live on Wednesdays at noon, but we are in the midst of baby number 3. So Karianne, our guest today, and I are recording this a few weeks ahead of time. So Karianne and I have known each other for a little while, right? At this point, we have yet to do a deal together, but we are going to. It's only a matter of time. It's not if, it's when. Karianne is the mother of a wife and the mother of 6 amazing children. Only 4 pregnancies, though, so you do the mental math there. Maybe we'll talk about that, maybe we won't. But she's been capital raising. She's doing a lot of cool things inside and outside of the real estate space. So without further ado, I hope I did you justice there, Karianne.
You did.
How
Thank
you
you.
doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Like this is gonna be, I think, the end of my working day. So,
Ooh,
yeah, we're recording this Thursday.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I have other things, daddy responsibilities that are gonna take precedence now. But yeah, I like to start the podcast out typically with what's keeping you busy. I can imagine with 6 kids that keeps you pretty busy, but
6 kids does it, yeah.
feel free to take that question wherever you please.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is keeping me busy other than that?
Yeah.
I just finished writing a keynote. I've um, I've got about 3 different stages I'm speaking on in the next couple months, so that's exciting.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Um, I am one of the founding members of the Trailblazers, which is a women's real estate investing group. So I'm helping to grow that. And then I am, oh goodness, I'm also raising capital for me and my partners. I have a new partner who does luxury fix and flips
Okay.
and Airbnbs in like the Austin and San Antonio area. She has an amazing background, and so we're working on some stuff. I'm collaborating with a bunch of different people, and yeah, yeah,
That's
all
awesome.
all this stuff.
Yeah, I definitely want to unpack the capital raising thing, especially with the new partnerships, because I think it hasn't even been a week since we spoke, so that's news to me. Um, but the Trailblazers,
Yeah,
can you tell me more about that? That's not something that we've actually talked much about at this point.
yeah. So I had a friend, and I met her through her husband, a couple of things. She was just referred to me, and she had started this women's real estate investing group, and it's for all women in real estate. It's not just, specific communities, it's for everyone. And so she does like a Monday night call and talk about real estate things. And she said, will you come on board and help me grow it? So that was back in April. Um, and we were around 420 members, and now we're right about 1,100.
Oh, okay.
So we're expanding it. We're going to be doing a couple 1-day sort of workshops and just kind of growing, helping women. We're just different. We think different, we process different. And I think especially in a space that's usually dominated by men, we kind of need to talk it out in a different way.
Yeah.
And so we give women the space to do that. And we've collaborated on deals. I have women who have funded deals with my partners. I have women who I've helped fund their deals. Um, we are collaborating together on design and architecture and all things real estate.
That's amazing. I'm assuming that this is kind of a nationwide thing.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
it is it only people that are actively investing, or is it like newcomers?
No, like if you're involved in real estate and you just want to learn more about it and you're a woman,
Yeah.
find us.
Okay.
Yeah, find us on
How
Facebook.
yeah, okay, Facebook Trailblazers is
Trailblazers. Yep.
okay. Sweet. I'll we'll get links for that for anybody that's
Fantastic.
interested in just going to the description here. Unfortunately, Carrie Ann, I don't know what the numbers are, but like 80% of viewers on YouTube are male, so this limits the pool a little bit. But
I mean,
identify as a female. No, you're fine. No,
you must be a woman.
yeah. um, so I know the reason we had connected originally was because you're big in sub two. You're raising a lot of capital for a lot of people. Tell me about this new partnership. How did this come about? And what is it actually? Before we even do that, what the heck is a capital raiser?
Capital raiser is someone who raises capital for investors who need it to scale their business.
Hmm.
And I started doing that. And then I quickly realized, after being on a call with a very successful business coach, I told him I was raising capital. And he said, I can only say it because he's a billionaire and he's unapologetically says things. He said, well, if you're just raising capital for two people, then you're the donkey in between, and I don't work with donkeys.
Mm,
So I rethought my strategy, and I am now raising capital for people that I am partnering with so that I have the ability to also make calls. Because what I find with a lot of capital raising is you have investors who want to grow their business. They want all the things, they have all the dreams. Love it, here for it. But they don't always finish before they're looking at the next thing.
mm,
So, as a capital partner or with some equity in it, I could say, Nathaniel, I appreciate that you have three more things you're excited about, but these people haven't been paid back yet. So, where are we? A traditional capital raiser can't really do. There's no leverage.
right.
You can, but all it takes is for one person to be like, well, kick rocks. I don't have to.
Yeah.
So in setting it up and working with partners the way I am, I'm able to protect the lenders better and I'm able to protect myself better. And at the end of the day, I'm protecting the investor because once that reputation is gone and once that trust is broken, it's hard to get back.
Yeah. That's funny. You bring that up. We are doing a deal. Uh, Hopefully, it's lots of
We are doing a
yeah,
deal.
yeah, yeah. That's true. We're doing a deal within the next couple of days that the equity partner in it brought that up specifically. That you know the reason the deal itself doesn't look the best, but he wants to do a deal with us and do ultimately more deals with us. And he mentioned the reputation. It's like you have a lot to lose if you don't. If you don't fulfill your end of the bargain, basically, because I'll just go on all the places that you're talking and say, "Hey, Nathaniel's a piece of junk," and
Yeah.
now nobody's
And
gonna work.
that's all you have.
Right.
That's the thing in this business, unless you just have hundreds of thousands of dollars, all you have is your reputation. And
Yeah.
even then, it doesn't matter how much money you have if people say they're a nightmare to work with and they don't fulfill their commitments.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not always the easiest, um, like, I don't know, selling point on a deal for us. Like, hey, well, I want to make sure that things
You're a
go
really
well
great
because,
guy.
yeah, I'm good. I have the kids and stuff. But yeah,
I have
it
kids.
is true. Like, I want to be here for a long time. And so doing a bad deal or treating somebody poorly, not being good at communicating, right? Those things will tarnish that reputation and hurt me from being able to do more and bigger things in the future. So I don't want to
Correct.
be the guy that's the bad to work with kind of guy.
Well, and even if, it's not that a deal goes bad because that happens. It's real
Right.
estate. I'm sorry, folks. If you're here for things that never go wrong, we're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Things do go wrong, but it's really about communication. If you call me and I'm your partner and you say, Karianne, this happened with the foundation. We did not know we're going to be about 2 weeks later. I say, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
That's
That
really
sucks.
all I need to know.
Yeah.
But it's when you don't get that communication, it's when people, I think they get behind the ball and it's like, you're just slightly behind. You can fix it really easy. But they're ashamed or they feel bad or they just don't, they don't want to tell you. And then it gets worse and worse and worse. And if you just would have told me the first day, been like, so my GC fell off a ladder, I
Yeah.
would have said, oh my gosh, how can I help? And we could have gotten back on track. But because people will just kind of go silent or they'll do the whole, no, it's amazing. It's going really, really good. Just tell me so we can fix it. Things cannot be fixed unless there's communication, which
Yeah.
is key. It really is.
100%. It's funny. I did a short or a reel or whatever this morning talking about like, yeah, things will go wrong. There's no way to completely mitigate all risks, but there are some things that you can do to, lessen them or, make the risks a little bit less. And then the communication thing, I was talking to somebody a couple days ago and they were like, "Yeah, I was going to do this deal with this person, but then 3 weeks later I was like, I haven't heard from you. What's going on with title? We're supposed to close in a couple days." And so I called him up and he was like, "Oh, I thought you were going to close, like you were going to do all that stuff." Like, "No, I'm bringing the money, dude. What the heck? You haven't talked in 3 weeks and you thought I was doing all this stuff? That's poor
Right.
communication."
Well, and you could lose the entire deal, and all
Hmm.
it is a phone call, which
That's
is
it.
why also then you've got to have clear lanes. Like, what is your role? What are you doing? And so, but once again, always goes back to communication.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I on the lanes part, as a now partner, you're going to be a partner in the deal. How do you put all those pieces together, I guess?
Honestly, we have a hard phone call. No one likes it. No
Okay.
one likes it. It's not fun.
Yeah.
The No one loves the part of the relationship, whether it's personal or professional, to be like, so you're not good at this.
Mm,
I'm going to do this. And if you tell me what to do here, we are going to have a problem.
yeah.
But you have to have it. It's like, it's the whole DTA, define, or DTR, define the relationship. No one likes it,
Yeah.
but everyone's so much more at ease once it's happened. So in the current partnership, I'm working with my partner Natalie. She is an extraordinary designer. Like, she has done commercial design, 5-star hotels. Her first commercial project was for a office for Elon Musk.
Okay.
Like, this woman is legit.
Yeah.
But she says to me, I can do all this. I have crews. I've done them here. I cannot sell myself. I cannot raise money. It makes me uncomfortable. I feel
Mhm.
weird. I'm like, fantastic.
Yeah.
I can do that. Like, I'm the person. But I said, also, here's the thing. I also went to school for interior design. So
Mm,
while I totally bow to you, Natalie, you are the goddess of this thing. I would love some input. Like, if you just went and did it and then said, yeah, like, find the money for it, I'm going to be a little sad because I like that creative part of it.
yeah.
So they're only uncomfortable discussions if you're not honest and you're not open about what you want to see. It's a whole lot worse if you wait and we get to the end and I'm like, I don't like this design and yet I raised all the money for it and I hate it. It could ruin the partnership.
Yeah.
So if you set those roles, what you want to do, how you want to do it, and also, and the part it makes so much of a difference, but people hate it. What do you do when it goes wrong? And I know people will say that's like planning for the divorce. Yeah, yeah. But I would rather say, so if this doesn't go well, how are we going to proceed? How are we going to work this out? Just to know preemptively.
Mm,
Because if you have those set out, I mean, as much as I hate the idea of like a prenup, it's very easy when one of those people dies and it's like, oh, I know exactly how everything's laid out. It's fine.
yeah.
We get divorced. It's much less messy. We don't love that you had to get divorced. No one wants that. But if it happens, and in business, it happens all the time, just know how you're going to exit.
Yeah. I like there's a couple things that you brought up there. I do have a question, but
Yeah.
it's almost like an upfront contract, right? In saying, hey, I know that this is your thing,
Hmm.
but I would love to have some input there, because if you don't say it now, you don't get to say it later, and now you're going to feel bad about it, right?
Right.
People they shorten my name all the time. Nathaniel to Nathan or Nate. And if I don't say it immediately that, hey, I do prefer Nathaniel, and I let the conversation go in a relationship, because like I don't get a chance. I let it go.
Because you can't do it 9 months later and be like, by the
Exactly.
way, you've been
Yeah.
calling me Nate.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like it, but it's not that
I
yeah.
asked you the first time we talked, I
Yeah.
said, do you go by Nathaniel?
Yeah.
Because my mom did the same thing. Your name is not Carrie, your name is Karianne.
Yeah.
But I mean, my friends and I even put on my Calendly links. Like my friends call me Care because Care's long, Carrie Ann's long. So,
So
but if
long.
you call me Carrie, I
Mm,
wouldn't even turn around.
yeah.
It's not my name.
Right. I answered to Nate for a long period of my life, right? I don't know if it was like Nathaniel's not cool or something, and I
It's not
put
cool,
down, but then I graduated back to Nathaniel. I'm like, that's what my parents named me. That's
right?
what I should go by. Um, with with these relationship pieces, with the what if scenarios, that if something goes bad, like that's all going in writing.
It's
Is
it's
that a JV agreement? Is it an LLC operating agreement? What does that look like?
depending on the partnership. Like I always have a JV and then usually have an operating agreement as well,
Okay.
just because I like to be clear. And as much I mean, I would love nothing more than to be able to shake someone's hand and trust that they're going to keep their word.
Yeah.
I would love that. But unfortunately, our memories are not always 100%
Hmm.
and things can be misconstrued. I can say something one way thinking I'm making a joke, they take it as gospel, and then all of a sudden my kids think that we're legit going to Disney World tonight.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
happened.
like it happened.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's happened. I thought you said we were going to Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I said
It
if
is
you clean the
literally.
whole house in the next 2 hours, then I'd be so pleased. I'd probably just take you to Disney.
Oh,
You
yeah.
said we were going to. No,
Yeah.
no. So I do all those things. I do it up front because I just it just makes it simpler. It
Yeah.
really does. And and also I don't do a partnership up front. I do not
Mm.
because I look at it as we are feeling each other out. We may, like Natalie and I, my new partner, we are partnering on things. We are not doing an official partnership because, as much as I love her, as much value as she brings, we may work together and be like, you drive me crazy. I
Mm.
can't work with you, but I'm totally going to be your friend.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I had someone last week who they wanted to be in a partnership with me and someone else I'm working with. And he's like, you're trying to push me out. I said, no, she may be a pain. What if you get to the end of this project and you're like, she's terrible. She's a flake. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Then we'd have to unravel this entire thing. So for the next 3 to 4 projects, we are JV partners, which means we can structure it how we want. We are partners, but I'm not doing this until the end of time. We have an LLC because then there's tax implications, there's the equity part. It's just so much easier for me until I know where I'm like, okay, I've done 9 deals with Nathaniel now in the last year. We
Yeah.
work together well, we stay in our lanes, we know our lanes. Now we partner.
I love it. You mentioned the friend thing in there too, and I think that that's if you, especially if you're already friends, but if you're not yet, and there's the potential to be friends, having it all in writing, then you're able to just go, look, this is what we agreed on. This is this is the writing thing, and then we can still be friends afterwards if things
Right.
go sideways, right?
And it feels weird. I'm not going to say it's comfortable. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's not. Like Natalie and I connected because she has 3 boys and is pregnant with twins.
Hmm.
And I was like, I had 3 boys and then I got triplets. And
Yeah.
so, and
There's
so
your math there.
there's
Yeah.
your math, triplets.
Yeah.
Um, no one wants to do math on a Friday afternoon.
No, that's
I
right.
had to tell them no one's doing math on a
Yeah.
Friday afternoon.
It'll be Wednesday when this airs, though.
No one's doing math on a Wednesday at
Yeah,
noon.
yeah. Nobody's doing math. Let's just say, yeah.
But like I love her as a friend. We have so much in common. And I was like, I would love to work with her. And then when she said, here's what I need,
Mm-hmm.
and it matched up. Even if she said, hey, I'm a great capital raiser, I need a designer, I'd be like, I'm probably not your person because we have the same skills, or we could partner up together to capital raise together, but we need to find this.
Yeah.
Either way, it's just simpler for the friendship overall. Upfront expectations, like setting those and making sure you're clear. Because we all know if someone says, oh, hey, let's do this deal together, I'm going to give you 50% out of the gate. And then, they come back and say, well, I did the numbers. And
Yeah.
actually, I'm going to pay you 10% in 24 months. You're going to be like, wait a second,
Yeah.
because of those expectations. But if they came up to you and said, okay, I have a long term play, we're going to do an RV park, we're going to build this, I can only pay you 10% in 2 years, but then your equity is going to grow.
Mm.
You'd say, okay, that's something I can consider. But it's
Yeah.
about how you set those expectations. And then everything feels worse when there's a contrast. Like if you've ever picked up, I make my kids do this because kids object lesson, I'm all about it. I said,
Okay.
pick up a 10-pound dumbbell. Is that very heavy? No, it's not very heavy. It's okay. Now pick up a 5.
Yeah.
How heavy does that dumbbell feel that's 10 pounds?
Yeah.
It wasn't heavy before. It feels heavy now because there's the contrast. So when you lay out something really, really great and then you go back on it, oh, it's rough.
Mm. That's a good
It's
analogy. I
rough.
like that.
But if you set it to where I'm not sure what I can do, even if it's not as great or as sexy as to get them into the deal. If you say, I can maybe give you like 12% in 9 months, and then you go back in 2 weeks and say, actually, okay, I reworked the numbers, I can give you 15% in 6 months. That 15% in 6 months looks so good.
Yeah.
So you can use
Tip
the
there.
contrast and need a tip.
Yeah, yeah.
I do this a lot because there are deals out there that are really, really good. They're really secure and amazing for a myriad of reasons. But because they're not as short term or they're not as high return, people are like, well, I don't want that. Okay. Well, I have this one, which really is not great at all. This looks really good in comparison.
Yeah.
And we also
Yeah.
need to consider the source. Like there's so many parts to a deal. It's not just the return, it's not just the term. It's who is the investor? What kind of a track record do they have? Like I have one right now. Her team's incredible. I've talked to about a dozen PMLs who have lent with her in the past, and they've all done multiple deals with her. So no, she may only be offering 15% in 6 months, which for all of you not in the real estate space, for some reason, we don't think that's enough money. For
Yeah.
anyone else, give me a call. I will get you in.
Yeah.
But she offers a level of security. She offers, I've talked to about 35 transactions with people who have done about 35. She's never been more than a week late. She gets it done. So you know what? It's not as high of a return. It's a little longer than some people want, but you're going to get your money and you're going to get it when you want it. That for me, like, yeah, I'll take 5% less to know that I'm getting my money back. We all want to make money. That's the goal. Obviously, we all want to make it. What we really want is not to lose.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty crazy that 15% in 6 months is not amazing.
Or you can go to the stock market
Yeah.
and get, like 5.
Yeah.
And if the stock market crashes, you are out of luck.
Yeah.
So when people say real estate is risky, how so? Please tell me, how is it so risky?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to collateralize you. I'm going to cross collateralize you. I'm only going to bring you borrowers who know what they're doing and have been doing it a long time and I've worked with extensively. And then you're going to get secured and protected through all sorts of documentation. But no, you should totally go to the stock market.
Yeah.
That feels, once
I
again,
just did a
power of comparison.
Yeah, I just did a Zoom a couple nights ago about it. Like when you own stock, it's just a piece of paper at best. Like mine, I have the Disney. It's right behind the camera here, from 19. I think it's 98. Yeah, 1998. My parents bought me a share. It's just oh no, it's two shares.
Share.
It's two shares of Disney. I like $6 or something. 20 years
Woo!
ago. But yeah, uh, like you don't really own anything. Like
Right.
I can't call Disney up and say, hey, you should make a movie about this. They're gonna go, who the heck are you? Right?
It'd be fun if you tried.
It would, yeah, I do. I
I'm
mean,
a
hey,
stockholder.
Disney, yeah, yeah. I'm a stockholder. I have two shares of your
When's your next
million and a half.
quarterly meeting?
Yeah.
I have ideas.
Yeah, I do. I have so many ideas for better movies than you're making right now. We need to go back to the '90s cartoons like Lion King and
I
Ariel.
agree. I may have 1.5 shares. We can go in together. Three and a half
Okay,
total.
that's
Change the
it.
world.
Yeah, we're done. They're gonna listen to us for sure. Oh, I totally that derailed. Oh no, yes. Um, how, how does somebody who has really little to no experience raise capital or show their value to somebody that um, yeah, value is not necessarily the right word, but be able to convince. I'm struggling for a word there, but I think you're understanding, maybe Karianne. Like, how does somebody that has little to no experience go get lending?
Funding. Yeah.
Yeah.
So honestly, I deal with this a lot. I did more when I was first starting out because I would have people with deals, really good deals. They have no track record. They're just starting out.
Yeah.
And it's rough. And I totally get that. So I would say, I want you to go, and this is what I did. I'd say, where are you at? Oh, I'm in Nashville. Fantastic. Here's someone in Nashville. Put out a message on one of the real estate groups you're on, or find someone who is in your area doing a fix and flip. I met this really cool guy. I think his name is Scott. He's in the Air Force. He's in South Carolina. And he said, I'm going to fix and flip. The deal was great. Like there were big numbers there. He was getting it from like a family friend. And I said, cool. Who's your GC? Well, me and my brothers are going to do it because like we're kind of handy. And I said, that's super cute, Scott. I love that for like your brotherhood. That
Yeah.
sounds fun. It does not sound like something someone's going to lend on.
Right.
So I want you to find someone who's doing this in your area. Go to him and say, here's my deal. I will give you 50% or however much you want to give him, borrow his credibility,
Mm.
borrow his track record, do a few with him, learn, make sure it's even what you want to do. You may get done with one flip and be like, nope.
Yeah.
But learn from him, borrow on that, and then build your own credibility. He may end up being your partner for the rest of your life. I don't know. In which case, I would like a cut of that. But you're going to be able to gain an education from it. You're going to be able to gain just his track record. You can kind of just take it like you're borrowing on it. Hey, I don't have any credibility, but I'm working with Nathaniel and he's done like 7 in the past year and they're all cash flowing and they've all worked well. Okay. Let me talk to Nathaniel. Yeah, this feels like something I could do. And so, yes, you're going to have to give up some equity. Yes, you're going to have to give up some money. But in the long run, you're going to make so much more. And P.S., you don't get funding, you're not giving up anything. You can either make 100% and nothing or 50% of the sale.
Yeah. I love that. Like, I'd rather have what is it? Part of a watermelon than whatever. Part of a watermelon
I've
than
never heard the
100% of a
watermelon
grape.
one.
I think it's part of a watermelon or 100% of a grape. That's
Okay.
yeah,
See,
yeah,
yes. Yeah.
yeah. But the 100% of zero is not as good as 50% of anything.
Yeah.
Better than zero. Yeah. God, I messed those up bad.
I
Welcome to
told you it's math. We're not
Yeah, that's
people.
right. It's the
We're
end of
not
the
in real
day.
estate because we're
Yeah,
finance people.
that's right.
Although
So
ironically, I am in the finance side of it, and I was
I
like the poster child for remedial math. I just didn't apply myself.
That's well, there, and I think that goes to show you too that so, and it kind of leans back on what you were saying. It's a lot about relationships, right? I have a calculator here. I don't need to be able to do the numbers. The
Right.
calculator does the numbers for me.
I'm
Who, not
married to it.
how.
I'm married to the man who knows the numbers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Or there are seriously times when I will call him Siri and I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, you need to solve for X. Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you solve for X?
Yeah.
Because get out your calculator. I don't know what that. I know. I checked out as soon as they introduced letters into math. I said,
Yeah, that's it.
this feels ridiculous. I'm not doing this.
This is a scam.
I'm taking a stand. 7th grade.
That's
Absolutely
awesome.
no letters in my math.
That's it.
I'm a purist.
So it has come up now multiple times on networking with Nathaniel on the podcast that squatting up is a solution to a lot of new people's problems, right? You
100%.
can, if you're trying to go direct to seller or direct to agent, squatting up with somebody who's already doing that and like inserting yourself into their
Yeah.
business, so to speak, and learning from them. If you're trying to raise capital, right, or at least make yourself more presentable to lenders,
Yeah.
squatting up with somebody that has experience in whatever you're doing is for sure the answer, right?
Yeah.
As far as capital raising goes, how are you connecting with people? How are you meeting people that are interested in lending? And then how do you kind of navigate those conversations?
Ooh.
Ah,
I meet people in the craziest of ways, and honestly, I can't help it.
mm-hmm.
Um, I am a connector extrovert by nature. I just cannot be any other way. I'm a great matchmaker.
Mm.
Like, and I also have no fear. So, was there a certain person on stage at Squat Up and Pace Morby said, he's single? And I'm like, he's cute. I take a picture and I'm like, sister, he's cute. Are they texting? Yes, they are. Um,
Nice.
I can't, like I said, I can't help it. Um, it's really because it is for me. It is not about the money. I can find someone to do like the figures. I don't like that part anyway. I can find someone to do the documentation. I can do it. I don't like it. It's boring.
Yeah.
But I'm really good at reading people and I'm really good at connecting with people. I don't have a ton of talents. Those are two of my talents where it's just people tell me their secrets. I met a woman in a Costco in the fabric softener aisle. She was great. And I just saw she was wearing a Crunch t-shirt. And I said, oh my gosh, I work out at Crunch. Do you go to Crunch? Which one do you go to? And she said, I go at night. Fantastic. I go in the morning. Why do you go at night? I work 9 to 5. Oh, I just got divorced. Oh, that's hard. Tell me, are you okay? She got all like teary and oh my gosh, you okay? It's just so tough. We also own this fourplex together and like we don't know how to sell it. And I just don't know where to go. And then, would you like help? I can help you. So I helped her and she's like, so once we get it sold, I don't know what to do with my money because otherwise it's just going to run out.
Yeah.
Ruth, honey.
Yeah. I got you. Don't worry.
So yeah, let me help you in all
Yeah.
the ways. So things like that. I know a lot of people will be like, I've heard people say, join the country club. Absolutely not. Don't join that. That's a lot of money. And are you
Yeah.
going to go? And are you, because everyone else is going to do that. Like, it's really just about being involved with your community and honestly just caring about people.
Yeah.
My biggest thing, especially, we just moved to Tampa last year. My subdivision is all people who are 70 or older. And they're in homes that right now are worth probably 850 to 900,000. They're in nice homes. They bought these 20 years ago and now they're retired.
Yeah.
How many of these people have enough money for retirement with where we're at with inflation? Almost none.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just talking to them as a neighbor. Like, you have your monthly, we go and have like monthly, I don't know, driveway, something or others. We just talk. How's it going? But you have to be genuinely interested because if you go into a situation being like, I'm going to find some money, I'm going to find some P&Ls, I never even consider that. I go in there being like, I'm probably going to make like 20 new friends. And since I love friends, that's super exciting. Or like where everyone in my subdivision is 70, I am raising 6 kids. 3 of mine are teenage boys or tween, like 15, 13, 11. And then my triplets are 9.
Yeah.
So I want them to get out and help people. People need help. I want my kids to learn how to serve and just, I'm trying to shape their character. And so if I can go to a driveway meetup and I meet this poor older fellow named Al, he's disabled. He has a hard time getting up and down. And he said, the HOA's mad at me. They need me to take down my Christmas lights, and the guy who's supposed to do it can't come do it. Al, listen to my kids. Oh my gosh, they're so bored. They need
Yeah.
something to
Yeah.
do. Did they go take down Christmas lights? Sure did.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh, I have my pension." He worked at AT&T and climbed the phone lines for like 50 years.
Wow.
He can't do the reason he has such bad back problems now is because he climbed those poles for 50 years.
Mm.
So he has a pension. He has, a 401k. Guess what? He has like $400,000. Because if you look into, and there's a great, for everyone, if you want to look at a great resource and you want to be totally scared about a 401k, go to, on PBS, there's something called the retirement gamble, I believe. The retirement something. In there, they interview the head, Mr. Vanguard. I don't know. He started Vanguard years ago. And he talks about how they would lure people in with, we're only going to charge you like 2% fees, just 2%. And he said, what people don't realize is we have our fees, we have our 2%. Oh, and that 2% compounds over time. So he said, if you get to the end where you have invested over your lifetime $1 million in your 401k, guess how much is taken in fees? Just guess. Like if it was going to be horrific,
Math.
still doable. Where you're like, okay, I've put in this money. I'm sure there's fees. I've put in $1 million. How much has gone to fees? Give me a percentage wise. How much?
17.
66.
Okay. What? So more than half of what I've earned is
has gone to compounded fees and interest to your 401k in the stock market.
What the heck? If you didn't have a reason to not be doing that prior to that, that's
Get out of your 401k.
Yeah.
So
Goodness.
then the best part is the journalist who just interviews him. He goes over to the head of Fidelity Investments, and he said, John Vanguard just told me compounded fees and interest, you're at like 66%. Well, I mean, and he goes, was he lying? He goes, no, that sounds about right. Retirement gamble. I think that's the name of it. But
okay, I put retirement gamble.
It is terrifying.
Something.
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
Because people do not know this is happening until they're retired. And then what are they going to do? They're 75 and they have back problems. What are they going to do?
Yeah, it's too late.
So that's when you see these sweet, poor old men and women door greeters at Walmart. It's not okay. Yeah. So one of my biggest things, I have a lot of investors who are, well, they're investing in deals that I'm bringing to them because they have enough money for the next 5 years and they're 72. Heaven forbid they live till they're 80. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
I have 3 investors right now in a deal with one of my partners that I'm working with. They're making 40% in 24 months.
That's pretty solid.
And it's collateralized. It's cross-collateralized. They're secured. They're protected. Or 66%.
Yeah. Or the 9.3% that you just stick it in the S&P. And
I have a sweet old man. Met him at the gym. He hit on me. I said, "You're old enough to be my dad." That's yucky. But what do you do? Yeah. And same kind of thing. He's like, I'm retired, but like I'm gonna have to find something to do because I don't have enough money. He is in a deal with me. This 24-month, 40%. He has $200,000 in it. Guess what? In 2 years, he has $280,000.
Yeah. You can just
Or
recycle that back and
right.
forth.
And I told him, so I said, in 5 years, you don't have $200,000. You have like 450 to five. And the more you have, the faster that grows. Because then with, their fees grow and compound. But guess what? As you're putting your money into things and letting that grow, that compounds to
Yeah.
where you're not just making 15% on 200,000. In 2 years, you're making 15% on 280,000. And then on and on and on and on. And if people will just trust it, try it, always trust, verify the people you're working with, verify me, verify Nathaniel, verify us all.
Yeah.
And if someone says you don't need to, you absolutely need to.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. What
Please.
was there? There was two little soapboxes I got on the other night. Oh, one, yeah, verifying the wiring instructions. They were both related to wiring.
Mm-hmm.
Verifying the wiring instructions and never sending money to an individual. Like if somebody
100%.
says, "Hey, just send," oh yeah, just Venmo it. Whoa, get the heck out of
Example.
here. Yeah, or whatever. Zell it over to me. No, no,
Here's
no,
my
that's not the way
personal
business is
Venmo.
done.
Send me
Yeah,
20,000. It's
yeah.
fine.
Send it in
No,
Walmart gift cards. That's how we buy houses out here in Utah.
just in Walmart gift cards
Yeah,
out in the
gosh.
middle of Wyoming.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The PO box in
That would be
Istanbul.
Tractor
Yeah.
Supply gift cards in Wyoming.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. um, you mentioned the PBS thing that's supposed to scare the heck out of us. Do you have any book, maybe podcasts that aren't going to scare the heck out of us? And things that
I
have
I read a
moved your
lot.
needle. Yeah. What
I
was it?
I read a lot.
I know.
I
I see
do.
the behind you. It looks like maybe your plant is on some books.
That's because it's cute.
Yeah. Well.
Those
Yeah.
are ones I've read.
Okay.
I could give you like 40 books I've read, but while I'm in real estate, everything hinges upon your mindset and how you're working and how you feel about yourself and how that you could you could have all the real estate knowledge in the world, but if you feel like you're never going to do it and you're never going to be smart enough in your XYZ, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how smart you are. So I read a lot of personal development. I read a lot of mindset. I mean, my dad was a presenter for Stephen Covey and taught the 7 habits to Fortune 100 companies. So people will say to me, you don't have any leadership training in a W-2. And I'm like, dude, I was raised by leadership training. Stephen Covey came to my private school and taught like a mini course. It was fantastic.
Huh.
Um,
That's
but I would say newer one that I just read. It's right back here, and I will say I did struggle with part of it.
Okay.
Okay, it's called "It Takes What It Takes" by
Okay.
Trevor Moawad. Here's why I struggled. It's not because of the book. It's because of me. And me does not know sports. So Trevor Moawad is a mindset and he really focuses on, and I love this idea. I've like written pages and pages of my thoughts on this book. So it takes what it takes is just like whatever it takes to get you there. And that's different for everyone. What is for some people, they're just like, no, I want to invest in real estate. Someone else has to lose their job to go all in. Someone else has to have their husband be disabled by COVID and move across the country. Someone else is me.
Yeah.
So, but he talks a lot about, he works with all these high level athletes. And he talks about how if you say to someone who's in a really bad place, positive thinking, man, come on. They're going to look at you and tell you to kick rocks.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to get to positive thinking? I'm in the middle of a divorce. I just lost my house. I just lost my job. My kids hate me. They're never going to get to positive thinking. That's so far outside their realm. But you know what they can get to is just neutral thinking, where it's like we stop giving space to those things that make it worse. And he mentioned, and I've been putting this into practice. It's really interesting. Never thought about it before. But he said, what are you letting in to your world? Like television shows, music, what are you reading? So he said for 30 days, and I've done it. I'm doing it with my kids, and it's super cool. He said, I want you to make a playlist that's only positive. So that means you can't listen to any country because it's all about like, she left me, she took my dog, my truck broke down. And so I have a whole playlist now, and it's called Positive Vibes Only. And it's not like vibes, it's not that. But
No, no.
everything is, I mean, it's things like Invincible. It's like there's a country song, there's all kinds of music on there, but everything is just like the best is yet to come or cool things are happening. None of it is this happened to me. How sad is my life? None of that.
Right.
Same with the TV shows. I told my kids they hate this part, but I'm like, we're not watching this. We're not watching this. We're not watching this because it just reinforces where it's like, well, see, he was sad. His life sucks.
Yeah.
That's no. I'm not even doing that. Also, no mainstream media news because
Mhm.
it's never going to be like, you know what happened today? It was so great. The sun came out beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the news.
Yeah. Nope. That's not what
Everyone
pays
was
the bills.
safe today and there were no car accidents.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. It's never going to happen.
It's a
It
puff piece.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no one wants to listen to that. Like,
Yeah.
hey, guess what? Divorce is going down. No one's going to listen to that.
Right.
It's divorce.
Yeah.
They need to make it dramatic. But by just bringing those little things in, there's so much where it's like, oh, this is really contributing to not a great idea. Which is why, like, when we listen to workout music, is it ever like, I feel weak, my life sucks? We're listening to music where it's like, invincible, eye
Yeah.
of the tiger, and your fist pumping in the gym. That's why we listen to it,
Yep.
is because it
That's a
makes
good.
us
Yeah.
feel motivated.
Yep.
So why are we not doing that in our daily lives?
Yeah.
We want to be more positive, we want to be productive, and we're listening to songs like If This Was My Last Night With You. And why would you
Yeah.
listen to that? You're never
Yeah.
going to be productive if you're listening to someone talk about how you were my last chance.
Yeah. It's a bit.
So
Your subconscious doesn't have any
it
barrier.
doesn't know. It does. And your mind does not know if there's the emotion in it. Your mind does not know. Reticular activating system does not know if that emotion is from something real or from something that you're feeling. So, like the sad movies, no one gets up from crying over a sad movie and is like, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
Today was great.
Yeah. Let's go.
You get
Run.
up and you're sad,
Yeah.
which is the only reason people watch Hallmark movies. The
Yeah.
acting's no good and they're low budget. But you know what?
Yeah.
Happy ending
Yeah.
every single time. And it doesn't matter what the story is because you get to the end, you're like, oh, magic is real and love happens.
Yeah.
Watch it. I'm figuring out all the things. So that's my book that I just finished. Also, The Power of One More, Ed Milet. Love Ed Milet. I would totally ask him to adopt me, even though because amazing. I love the way he thinks about the world. I love I love how he can marry and work together, like that there is vibration and energy in this world, but that it comes from God. Because there's a lot of people who are like, I'm only the universe and the vibes, and other people who are like, but it's God. I love that he says it's God, but he created the energy. Energy is totally a thing. Science is totally a thing, but it does come from God. And I love the way that he goes through that and navigates it. Incredible. Incredible. Also, what else did I just finish reading? What am I reading now? I just finished Everything is Figure Outable, Marie Forleo.
Okay.
Really good.
I like made up words too.
I know, right? She's like, I got it from my mom. So I love that. She's a Italian girl from Jersey. She gets a little, and it's really cool. But she's been a life coach and has her own like Marie TV, whole bunch of things. But
Okay.
I love anything where it can make me better. Because if I'm better personally, my business is going to be better. I'm going to be a better wife. I'm going to be a better mom. I'm going to be a better human.
Yeah.
And so really anything that focuses on like physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, anything that brings those things into alignment, I'm in for.
Yeah. I love that. Like I've said it on here before. I've said it on other people's podcasts. Is if they, as entrepreneurs, we say, there's no work-life balance, but that's only if you allow that. right? If
100%.
we have to be doing all these things together at one time, because if we let one lapse, and yeah, there's going to be seasons to everything, right,
Right,
where
right,
things change. But if we let one go to the wayside, and 10 years from now we've built up this business, but we're freaking out of shape and can't bend down and touch our toes, right? What was the point? Or if like my
right.
kids don't know me, what was the point? That's not why I'm here. So
Yeah,
I love that you mentioned that. Like we read a lot of business books, and they're not necessarily business books, but mindset books that we can apply to our business, but also apply to everything else. One I'm talking about tomorrow, or 3 weeks ago at this point, at my
right.
meetup, is the gap in the gain. Like that change, it's
Oh,
changed
it's
so much.
so good, right?
Yeah, just like every aspect of your being, your existence, you
Yeah.
can apply that with.
And you know what I would say is I didn't exercise today that I got from the everything is figure outable, because I think a lot of people are like, this is great. I love all this. I don't know how to start. I don't even know what I want. A
Mm,
lot of people, if you don't know what you want, you're not going anywhere. You got to
yeah.
know what you want. What about those people who are like, I don't really know what I want? And so, um, in her book, Marie Forleo says, I want you to just get a piece of paper and say, wouldn't it be awesome if? And finish that as many lines as you can.
Mm,
Because we all have things where it's like, wouldn't it be awesome if me and my husband had a date night every week? Wouldn't it be awesome if like I could take my kids to Disney World once a year? Wouldn't it be awesome if I could like feel really confident when I go into a business meeting? Wouldn't it be awesome if all these things?
yeah.
But if you say like, what are your goals? Well, I mean, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be awesome? Try
Yeah.
it. Try it.
It's
I had
yeah.
like 78 lines. Wouldn't it be awesome?
Oh man, okay. I mean, some were coming to mind. I think would it be awesome if every now and then I bought a new shirt?
See? And it could be little things. I legit put like that. Wouldn't it be awesome if I had a different pair of gym shoes for every day
Mm.
of the week?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? I don't
Makes sense.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just cuz. Wouldn't it be awesome if I matched my gym outfits and was coordinated?
Oh,
Am I going to think about that? It
no.
would be
Yeah.
awesome, and we'll see if that ever
That
happens.
was 76. Yeah. That was, yeah. Yeah.
It was clear. Yeah, it was when I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah. I was trying to figure
Um,
out the last one. Yeah.
no, but like
I like
setting those
that.
goals and find it'll help you kind of just define where what do you want, and then dial in on those things where it's like, no, this really would be awesome, and then you
Yeah.
can work backwards into how can I make it happen.
This one's going to the top of the list. Um,
What is
now
it? What's it? Wouldn't it be awesome?
this is a question. We'll talk about that another time.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole different separate occasion. Oh, the kids are coming in. We're going to wrap this up here. I like to ask everybody on the podcast, once your time, Karianne, on this earth is expired and you have gone to heaven or whatever you believe in, what do you want to be remembered for from the people that you've left behind on this earth?
Well, my husband put it very succinctly when he said, when you die, I'm going to write on your gravestone, this lady got stuff done. Because I do. But
Yeah.
I want my kids and my grandkids and everyone after me to say, she wasn't afraid.
Mm,
She wasn't afraid to live her best, be her best, try her best, however that looks. Try and fail, it's fine. Tried my best.
yeah.
Because so often we don't do our best because we're afraid of the consequences. I don't want to look back at 100 years and be like, I could have done that, but I never tried. So try. Do this. I want them to be like, she tried everything. She tried everything that she wanted to do, and she either succeeded or she failed, but she tried.
Mm, I love that. Kevin Cho said he said fearless, like he's being fearless. People have said that about us, Brittany and I, after moving from California to Oklahoma in like 3 weeks. We drove out to Oklahoma one time, and like a week later, we would moved out. And so, like, what the heck? You guys are crazy. No, we just like you said, we're taking a chance. We're trying to make things happen. Like, I don't have time to.
Or you could still be in California thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if we didn't live here?
Wouldn't it be awesome? Yeah. I wrote it down. It's happening. Um, I appreciate you being here. What's the best way for people to connect with you if they either want to lend money or have deals that they're looking to get money for you, or if they want to just connect with you for any other reason?
Yeah. I'm on Instagram, Karianne Klomp, 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 like a shoe. It means shoe.
Okay.
Um, it really does.
Yeah.
Um, and then I have my website that by the time this goes up, it will be good and restructured, and it's cherryfoxcapital.com.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. And those will be in the description on the video here for anybody that's needing to just click and not have to type things in. Any parting words, Carrie Ann, before we?
Um, just that don't be afraid to do something that could change your life.
Mhm.
And whether it's investing, whether it's changing your mindset, you deserve to live at a higher level. So try.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm gonna boot you for a minute. Hang tight. That was Carrie Ann Klomp. Klomp Klomp. I like that. Amazing. I really like the last little bits she said there about taking that actionable step of wouldn't it be amazing if, and being able to walk through some goals that we don't even realize are goals. It's really important to have a destination that you're heading towards and things that you're striving for, because when things get difficult, it's those that are going to pull us along, right? What is it? Pain pushes until motivation pulls, something along those lines. And then just be fearless. Don't be afraid to go out there and take action and fail at things, because that's what ultimately is going to help you grow and help us learn. So that was Networking with Nathaniel. If you're still here and you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button on wherever you find that on your screen or device. It helps us get in front of more people. I hope to see you guys back here next week and the following weeks, every Wednesday at noon Eastern Time. Later.